Some people are very annoying. They won't take no for an answer. They will nag you. They will pressure you. They will try to manipulate you and get you to do what they want you to do. And it's a very strategic and effective strategy, because what they do is they'll just wear you down and they'll just pressure you, push you until you give in, until they get what they want. And they have been rewarded with this behavior for quite a long time. That's the reason why they do it, because it works. Because most people avoid confrontation, don't want to have an argument, don't want to set boundary, want to stay within their comfort zone, don't have the courage to stand up for themselves and teach people how to treat us. And so then we're left with this mess of, they have been doing this historically. It's a pattern. It works. And when it doesn't work with you, they just turn up the volume. They'll nag more. They'll attack you. They'll gaslight you. They'll verbally pressure you. They'll use, the two favorite things they like to do is shame and guilt, until they get what they want or till you give in. And it's a form of bullying, but it's very mild. It's not in the traditional sense. And you'll start questioning yourself. Is there something wrong with me? Is it my fault? Am I doing something wrong? And you'll start doubting yourself, because they are so good at using the guilt and shame button and making you feel badly. And then you'll just throw your hands in the air and do what they want. And it really creates a short-term gain. You avoid a confrontation for long-term pain. It creates a mess, and it creates a pattern of rewarding bad behavior. And that's not what we want to do. It's much, much better and more effective to have the confrontation. And it doesn't even have to be a confrontation, but really it's about setting a boundary. Hey, the way you're treating me, the pressure, the guilt, the shame, the nagging, it's not on. It's not working for me. And one of the things you have to distinguish is, are they going to be receptive? Because most of these personality types, they are not going to be receptive. They will push back. They will say it's your fault, that you're being stubborn, you're being wrong. And it can be quite disheartening, because you think you're talking logically and rationally and presenting a very sane argument or defense for them to back off and just leave you alone. And they just don't get it. It's like they got cotton in their ears and they're not hearing anything you say. So we'll talk about some effective strategies. My name is Steve. I am a life coach. I'm a full-time life coach. This is what I eat, drink, and breathe. I've been doing it for 11 years. And if you would like to give it a try, everyone benefits from it. And it is extremely affordable. My prices are ridiculously low in comparison to what other life coaches charge. And just send me an email. The consultation's free, no obligation afterwards. First session, you get $20 off. And then it's just pay as you go. And it's something that I look forward to working with you, and you'll find a lot of value in. Much better than talking to a friend or family member. This is what I do. All right, so one of the things I do in coaching is teach people how to handle difficult people. And they could be parents, they could be family members, they could be co-workers. And we want to adopt a different strategy depending on the person. And what we do is we prepare. I find a lot of people don't have confrontation with other people. And confrontation, I don't like that word. Don't set boundaries with people, and don't speak authentically and stick up for themselves and teach people how to treat them, is because they don't have practice. We practice everything else. If you want to get better at a language, you practice speaking the language, you get a tutor. If you want to get better at a sport, you practice the sport. You want to get bigger muscles, you practice, you go to the gym, you lift the weights. And everything else we practice, but how to navigate difficult social situations is not something we practice, and that's what we do in coaching. Is we role play it. I give my clients the strategies and techniques on how to navigate different difficult, challenging people. And I've even had some clients, the people that were kind of being a little bit abusive or a little bit overstepping the boundaries, or narcissist personality types. I've had clients who stood up to those difficult personality types, and they don't like it. They will say, oh my God, what's going on? Like, since my client is getting coaching, they are becoming a lot more confident, a lot more affirmative, and really strengthening their boundaries and teaching people how to treat them. And it's so empowering. It feels so good. It's a little bit scary, but if you're given the proper techniques and strategies and you role play and practice it, it becomes so much easier. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And so there are different types of people, and so we want to use a different strategy. There are some people that are open, that are receptive, and you want to try to talk about things when it's not in the moment. So if they said something that was rude or offensive, or they're pressuring you, try not to engage then, because their defenses are going to be higher. Catch them when they're in a good mood, when they're not in that attack mode or badgering mode. And usually the mornings, not after a full work day, usually on the weekends can be better. And you just tell them, hey, you know what? I want to have a closer relationship with you. Honest communication is something that will help us get there. Is that something that you want as well? If something's bothering me, do you want me to express it to you? If something's bothering you, I definitely want you to be able to express it to me. And you're opening the door and getting permission to have a healthy, constructive conversation, and they are agreeing to it. And if they say no, then you're going to approach it a different way. And if they say no, then you got to ask, do I want this person in my life, if they don't even want to have a conversation about it? And that's happened to me. People have said, you know what, I've had an issue with them. I've set a boundary. It's created some tension. And I said, let's just talk about it. And I've been shut down. And they say, nope, I don't want to talk about it. You have the problem, not me. You're the one that needs to get over it, even though they did something wrong, or what I feel was wrong. And it's not something that just magically goes away. I'm not going to be fake and smiley and pretend like everything's okay, because this is not healthy for us. All that negative energy gets stored in our body. So I just distance myself from the person, and I'm not going to reward their bad behavior. I'll be polite and courteous, but I'm not going to be overly friendly. I'm not going to do anything that I don't feel is sincere. And I'm going to let the person know, hey, you didn't want to talk about it. This is the consequence. It's going to create tension, even further tension in our relationship. Now, let's assume that you say you catch them when the moment is right, they're in a good mood, and they say, yes, I want to talk about it. And then you say, okay, please hear me out. This is really not going to be constructive. If you are defensive or if I'm defensive, let's just have an open conversation. Let me talk about what I'm feeling. Let me finish, and then get them to repeat to you what they understand you said. Because it's incredible. Sometimes when you're having a disagreement with someone, or there is a little tension, people get emotional. Their listening skills go out the door. They become very defensive, and they don't even understand or hear what you're saying. So it's really important to clarify, have them clarify and say back to you what they understood that you said. And so you finish, you say, and you want to use, I feel this way. You don't want to use attacking language. I need you to do this. It really hurt me when this happened. You don't want to say, you're rude, you're disrespectful, you're always bothering me or nagging me or pressuring me. You don't want to come from that space, because then obviously people are going to be naturally defensive. And then you tell them what you want. So you tell them, what I need for you to do in the future is to only tell me once and not have to repeat it over and over, and to respect my wishes if I want to do something that is not in alignment with the way you think it should be done. Okay? And then they repeat it, and then you have this nice conversation about it. And, you could use an object if there's more than one person in this group. It's better to do it one-on-one. And that's another important thing. You never want to have these types of conversations where other people are in earshot, because then the person will become more defensive in order to protect their ego. But let's say it's a family, or it's a more than one person, and you all need to have this conversation. You can have a tennis ball, a pen, or something like that. While the person has a pen, they are the only ones that are speaking, because people are very defensive. And compliment them. Say, thank you for listening to me. I really appreciate it. I feel like you really heard me, and it seems like you really care about what I'm saying. And we both want the same thing. We want our relationship to be closer, and this is open, honest communication is such a healthy way to do that. Okay, so that's the one type of person. Then you get the other type of person, which I described earlier, that just shuts you down, doesn't want to talk about it, run for the hills. Those type of people are extremely toxic. They will smile to your face. They'll stab you in the back. They don't want to they don't want to talk about things. They don't want to try to work things out. They think it's your fault and it's your problem, and they'll smile to your face, and then they'll stab you in the back. So be aware of those people, because those types of friendships or relationships can't grow closer. When there is issues or conflict in the relationship, and you're shut down and you're not able to communicate the problem with the person, how do you find solution? How do you find resolution? How do you make the bond deeper and stronger? So be careful, and there are people like that. And if you get someone that's a narcissistic personality type, they are completely, well, it depends on the narcissist and how severe it is, but they are very difficult to talk to about these things. They feel like everything is other people's fault. They don't take any responsibility, and you either have to learn how to navigate those personalities, and we'll talk about that, or you just go NC, no contact, or LC, limited contact, because they will bring you down. They will wear you down. It's the type of people, like, after you get off the phone with them, or after you spend time with them, you just don't feel good. You don't feel good about yourself. You don't feel good about the conversation. You don't feel good about them, and you're doing it out of obligation. So protect yourself. Limited contact, no contact. Obviously, that's a last resort, and you really want to try to talk it out and heal the relationship. But if they are like that, and they have to be in your life, and they do not accept responsibility, and they are very extremely defensive, then what you want to do is learn how to shut things down, learn how to not get sucked in to the drama, and not be emotionally reactive to them. So if they are pressuring you, why aren't you married yet? Or why haven't you done this? Or why don't you find a better job? Or they're just trying to run your life. Simple answer is, I'm happy with my life as it is. Thank you for your concern. And then they keep pushing. You know what? Let's talk about something else. So you're basically not confronting them head on, because that doesn't work. They don't accept responsibility. You're redirecting, and you're not giving any ammunition to the arrows or the darts that they're throwing at you. They throw a dart and arrow, and they see you have a shield in front of you. You don't get emotional, because that's what they want. They want for you to have an emotional reaction. When you have emotional reaction, it's a form of persuasion or manipulation to get you to do what they want. Hey, he or she had an emotional reaction. It's working. If I make them feel bad, or if I punish them by berating them, or by pushing them or pressuring them, and they have an emotional reaction, they will eventually give in just to avoid that negative emotional reaction. So we're not doing that. We're focusing on our breathing. We're relaxing. We're saying, I am calm. We're letting things go in one ear and out the other. And a very effective strategy is just like water off a duck's back. is you just, whatever they say just rolls right off of you. And you realize, hey, it's their issue. It's their problem. It's not my issue. It's not my thing. And I'm not going to take on their negativity. And man, they can be negative. They can be stressful to be around. And you're just, okay. And you're not feeding their need for drama or their need for conflict or their need to get a reaction out of you. And some of the comments I've heard my clients say is they'll say, well, I'm not very happy with your life decisions. And a great answer for that is, you know what? I understand that, and I'm okay with that. It would be unrealistic for me to expect that you would be happy with every life decision I make, or even the majority of my life decisions. I'm okay with that. And when they see that you're not going, oh, you're not okay with it? Well, why? What can I do? Oh, I don't like you not being okay with it. Let me try to fix it. And when they pick up on that, it's like a shark smelling blood in the water. When they have that scent, they go on the attack. And when you remove that power or that leverage that they try to hold on you, you set yourself free. You are liberated. And some of the other strategies is, and I've talked about this in previous videos, but I feel like this is such a common topic that comes up in my coaching sessions that it's really good to review and to practice. Another thing that the effective strategy is just leave the arena. So if there's like a mini skirmish or a battle going on or a mini war, just leave the arena. How can they go to war with you when you leave the arena? One of my clients applies this very effectively. We practice this in coaching. And I say, just get up and walk away. Say, you know what? If you continue like this, I'm leaving. Or because you've continued like this and I've asked you to stop, I'm leaving. And the person's response was, oh, no, I'm sorry. Okay, don't leave, don't go, stay. And then you are asserting that, hey, I have control over this situation. It's not only you. Even though you are my parent, even though you're my brother, sister, even though you're my boyfriend, girlfriend, even though you're my coworker, I also have a control of the situation. And then just don't take the bait. They will try to, it's like they go fishing and they'll try to get you on the defensive. Hey, why did you do this like that? Or why didn't you do this? And you start becoming defensive. And the moment you start becoming defensive, what you advertise to other people is that I need your validation. I'm becoming defensive because I need you to agree with my decision or the way I'm doing things. And that's why I have to defend myself. If they see you have no reason to defend yourself because you don't care, you're not attached to how they feel, you're not attached to their viewpoint, you're not attached to changing their mind, you're free. You're free. Now, if they hold power or leverage over you and they can make your life difficult, like they're your boss, then you got to be more careful. Like they're your parent and you're depending on them financially, then you got to be a little bit more flexible and play the game and be accommodating, but try to either find another job if it's that bad, or try to, have some, pick your battles, with your parents or girlfriend or boyfriend, because you don't want them, if they have that power over you, you don't want them to yield that or wield that over you and in retaliation. And they will do that. So you got to be really careful that you can handle and accept the consequences. That's why as best you can, you want to be independent and free and not have to rely on anybody. I know if you're, young, that's not possible. So you just got to navigate that and just, get a little bit better at it. Yeah. So those are some really helpful strategies, and it really requires courage, because what I see a lot of in coaching is people are afraid. And the only reason they're afraid of setting boundaries or speaking up or speaking authentically is because they are not used to doing it. It's really rare. We, as human beings, evolutionarily, we have an avoidance to confrontation because we think we'll be punished. We think we'll be kicked out of the tribe. We think that we will have limited, our resources limited. I mean, there's a lot of variables. We're not going to have procreation opportunities if we are not accepted by our tribe. But this day and age, it's not the case. We don't live in those small tribes, and you can really survive pretty easily, even if somebody is upset with you, your boss is upset with you, and you just find another job, for example. And the thing that we want that really helps us to feel free and to feel confident is not to keep things stuffed. When you keep things stuffed, they go to the body, they get stored, and you get back pain, you get health issues, you get migraines, you get bad moods, you turn to your addictions, you turn to eating food, eating junk food. And we want to be open and have this flowing relationship with what we want and how we feel. And when we're not storing it aside and we express it in healthy ways, our relationships and connections grow so much stronger and we feel so much more confident. And you'll see over time it gets easier and easier. If you did find this video of value, please hit the like button, subscribe, and if you'd like a very affordable coaching, send me an email. And if you'd just like to support the channel, I try not to do ads in the videos. So if you'd like to support the channel, there's a PayPal link in the description. And as always, I read all your comments. And I'd love to hear any suggestions you have that I might have left out on how to deal with difficult people, and maybe some of your experiences, success stories, or your challenges that you have faced. Thanks for tuning in, and look forward to talking to you again. Bye-bye.